Hi kids, welcome to Library Story Time. Today we're going to talk about some books and some activities that we do during the summer. So our first book is going to be Curious George Goes Swimming. I know swimming is an activity we all love to do in the summer when it's hot and we're sweaty. It's great to go swimming. So let's see what happens to Curious George. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, the man with the yellow hat was taking George to the town pool. Sort of looks like our pool that we have here in Connersville. It was a hot summer day, and there were lots of people at the pool. George's friend found some empty chairs for them and put their things down. "I will go find you a float, George," said the man. "Now be a good little monkey." George sat on the chair and looked around. He saw little kids tossing a beach ball in the shallow end and big kids lined up at the diving board. George couldn't wait to get into the water. There's the diving board down there in the deep end. Then he saw a tall white chair with an umbrella and a red float hanging on it. The woman in the chair wasn't using the floaty. Maybe George could borrow that one. Like only a monkey could, George swung up to the top of the chair and grabbed the float. You supposed to bother the lifeguards' things? No. No. But just as he was about to climb down, the woman in the chair turned around. "Hey, you can't take that! That's the lifeguard float!" She did not sound happy. George let go of the float, jumped back down to the ground, and started running. Then he heard a whistle and a loud voice call out, "No running by the pool!" George slid to a stop. He walked very slowly back to his own chair. The man was waiting for him there. "You have to be careful at the pool, George," the man said. "The ground gets wet and slippery, and you could fall." George nodded. Then the man handed George a small foam board. "I got you a kickboard, and you could hold on to it in the water to help you float. Why don't you go for a swim?" George thought that was a great idea. He took the kickboard and he got into the pool. The water was cool and refreshing. Everywhere George looked, kids were having fun. Some were doing swim races across the pool, and some were playing water tag. Others were even doing handstands in the water. So here's George. And like, if you're doing handstands, what's sticking out of the water? Your feet, right? So there's somebody doing the handstand, and some of them got beach balls they're playing with, and some of them are on big floaties, jumping off the diving board. Then George noticed one little girl holding on to the side of the pool. George waved for her to come to swim, but she would not let go of the edge. George wanted to show her how much fun swimming was. He kicked his legs and he paddled his arms. He hopped up on the kickboard like he was surfing. He's got pretty good balance to be able to do that. Surfing would even be more fun if there were waves to ride. George was curious. Could he make waves with his kickboard? He pushed the board through the water and made a small wave. "What fun!" George did it again, pushing a little harder. That made a bigger wave. George heard the little girl giggle. She was still holding on, but at least now she was smiling. George pushed the board out into the water as hard as he could, and he made a wave so big that, oh no, it splashed over the side of the pool. Tweet, tweet! He heard the whistle again. No splashing! Look at that lifeguard telling George to stop. Oops! George hadn't meant to break another pool rule. He swam over to the side and sat down. Then he saw the little girl pulling herself over to him along the side of the pool. "Hi, I'm Lucy," she said. "I didn't know you weren't supposed to splash. It was an accident." "You're a really good swimmer." George smiled. "I wish I was a good swimmer like you. My dad has been teaching me, and he says I can do it, but I'm scared to let go. I don't like to put my head underwater." George was curious. How could he show Lucy how much fun a pool could be? What do we think, boys and girls? What's George going to do to get her to swim? Let's find out. Then George had an idea. Ice cream was a special pool day treat. The man had put some money for a treat into their bag. He pointed to the snack bar and then hurried over, very carefully. So in a few minutes he was back with 2 ice cream pops, one for him and one for Lucy. "Thank you, George." She smiled and she climbed out of the water. They sat down on the side of the pool to eat their treats. Just as George was taking his first lick, the loud whistle blew again. "No food by the pool!" the lifeguard yelled. George was startled. He dropped his ice cream pop into the pool. Oh no, it was sinking to the bottom. He had to get it before it made a huge mess. George jumped right in after it. He swam down to the bottom of the pool. But where was his ice cream? When he came back up for a breath, he saw Lucy underwater. And she was getting his ice cream for him. In a moment, the lifeguard was there, ready to the rescue. But then Lucy popped right back up. She handed George his ice cream pop, well, what was left of it anyway, and wiped her hair from her face. The lifeguard was about to scold them when Lucy broke into a huge smile. "I did it, George! I swam underwater! And it's all thanks to you." This made the lifeguard smile too. She wrapped them in a dry towel and helped clean up the mess. It was a great day at the pool, and George had a new friend and a new ice cream. Now, at the very back of this book, it talks about playing a swimming game. Instead of saying Marco Polo, you can say, "Curious George, Curious George." So that's one thing that you can do if you want to play like Curious George. All right, well, that was one summer activity that we have. What do you have, Miss Susanna?
Well, I have a book called Bike and Trike. What do you think that activity is going to be?
Rhyming.
It might be rhyming. I think it's going to be about bicycles, bike riding, that sort of thing. Bike and trike. What's a trike? Is that a tricycle? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it has pedals.
Yeah, it has 3 wheels. And this bike has some training wheels. So technically it's got 4 wheels.
Yeah, I can ride about training wheels.
Yeah? All right, let's get started. Trike is a rusty little fellow, a trusty little fellow on 3 worn down wheels. He's got patches even on his wheels. He's scuffed up. He sits parked in the dusty dark. Now that Lulu has outgrown me, he says, I sure am lonely. He's in the dark. Through the years, he and Lulu had braved. See what they had braved. Summer bees. Oh no, she's being chased. Skinned knees. A wet seat. She was riding in the rain. The big street. Looks like she's crossing the road with her daddy. And the time when Tiny True said, uh-oh, no go. Look at Lulu. She looks awfully big. I think she's outgrown her tricycle. One day, the garage door opens. In rolls a happy young fellow, a snappy young fellow on 4 spiffed up wheels. Hi, I'm Bike, says the new guy, his streamers waving. Oh, I'm Trike. Trike thinks of his own scratches and patches. Beep, toots Bike. I'm a secret surprise. Lulu's birthday, thinks Trike. Bike is for her. Bike blasts past. It's my first time, whoops, out of the store. Look out, says Trike. Bike pops a wheelie. Woof-thump. He's getting wild. Bike, says Trike. Soon you'll meet your rider. Lulu is the nicest. Watch this trick, says Bike, riding through hula hoop. Zoom, zoom, safety first, says Trike. Aw, back off, old timer, says Bike. I've got a need for speed. Sounds like Bike's not really wanting to listen to Trike. It's crowded in here, says Bike. Let's open the door. Ball pushes the button. Bounce. Goes the door. Bike rolls outside. That path looks like fun. Let's race, Trike. Alone, thinks Trike? Without riders? First one to the woods is the winner on wheels, says Bike. There's the woods up there, and there's the path going through it. Trike knows each turn and twist in that path. Bike doesn't. I'll be the champ, yells Bike. If I win, says Trike, you have to promise to let Lulu ride at her own pace. Bike nods. Okie dokie pokey. Jump rope forms the starting line. The pom-poms cheer. These are all the toys and things from the garage. Whistle blows. Go, go, go! See the whistle?
Yeah, I didn't know they could ride from the garage.
Yeah.
They're real life bikes.
Yep. Pedal, pedal, pedal. That's Trike's wheels squeak. His metal parts creak. Bike blows by. Pedal, 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 pedal. Trike pushes harder. Pedal, pedal, pedal. You can do this, Trike tells himself, for Lulu and the way of the two of us flew. Trike catches up to Bike. From his handlebars to his wheels, Trike feels a bing and a zing zing. His bell ring ring rings the way it did when Lulu was in the driver's seat. He got excited. Oops, Trike's and Bike's back wheels go bump. Ouch, Bike shouts. Trike stops to help. Are you okay, Bike? See, he fell over. Bike fell over. Bike suddenly takes off the wrong way. I'm going four-wheeling, calls Bike as he heads off-road. A shortcut. Uh-oh. Let's see if that's a good idea or not. Dip, dash, Bike's gone in a flash. The cliff! Trike gasps. Bike doesn't know how steep it is. Trike has to head Bike off at the pass. Uh-oh, it's getting close. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Trike zip, zip, zips, calling, Bike! Hit the brakes! The grass is slick. Trike loses his grip. He tips. Uh-oh. Crash! That's awful. They both bump into each other, crash into each other. That was close. Just missed the cliff, says Trike. I guess we both went too fast, huh? Yes, says Bike. I'm sorry for showing off. I guess I have a lot to learn. I can teach you, says Trike. Bike leans over, streamers dangling. Here, take my handlebar, Trike. I'll help you up. Trike chuckles. At least one part of me is new. Which part? Asks Bike. This dent. And Bike says, I like you, Trike.
Where?
Thanks, friend. I think he must have gotten his handlebar dented. That's where he landed hardest. Bike and Trike ride side by side. One big, one small, two winners on wheels. The next day, a birthday. Lulu and True hop on, beep a beep, Ring-a-ding. So Lulu got the new bike. True got the hand-me-down tricycle. He looks happy too. And off they go. That was really neat about bike riding, wasn't it? Well, we've got an activity to kind of go with our books, and we are talking about different activities and sports that we do during the summertime. So I'm going to put up 4 different kinds of activities or sports, and we'll talk about those. I've got equipment or gear that goes with these different sports. Look at that last picture. Does that look familiar?
Wait, that looks like our pool.
It is our pool at Roberts Park. That's pretty cool. So we've got a soccer field and kids playing soccer.
Wait, is that the Indians game?
And here is, yes, it's an Indians game. That's in Indianapolis. So that's the baseball
We've been
field.
there before.
Cool. And then here's a bike and skate park. A skate park. You can do all kinds of activities on wheels, bikes, skateboards, that sort of thing. And of course, here's the park pool. So I'm going to pull out different pictures of things, and we're going to talk about maybe where you'd use this. What is this?
Like a skateboard.
It is a skateboard. Would we use a skateboard at the ballpark? No. Would we use it at the pool? I think we might use it over here at the skate park, wouldn't we? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And how about a pair of swimming trunks? Where would we? A pool, that's right, the pool. All right, and then we've got, look at this, a ball and mitt.
And a baseball.
Baseball field, absolutely. Yeah. Different balls we use for different games, don't we? Ah, this can be tricky. Here's a helmet. And yeah, you know, it could be at the skate park because you can use these kinds of
I could be at
gear.
soccer. I could be at soccer because they could put on some protection.
Yep, and that was one of the next ones I was going to show you. Here are shin guards. At soccer, that's right, because they make specific shin guards just for soccer.
Yeah, but guess what? They could wear knee pads at soccer too.
They could.
It's baseball.
All right, yeah, you saw the baseball bat, didn't you? All right, okay. Now, what is this? A soccer goal. You mean we wouldn't use a soccer goal at the baseball field?
No.
No.
Well, you could put the soccer there.
There is a net that, yeah, it helps return the ball. Ah, here we go. What kind of ball is that? Soccer. Can you tell I like soccer?
Lots of them is so much soccer. Bikes.
What are these?
For the skating park.
Well, what are these? These are rollerblades. They're rollerblades, aren't they?
Yeah,
Are you? That's cool.
yeah, I am really good. I know how to roller skate.
How about
Scooter.
a scooter?
Scooter.
Where would you use a scooter?
Skate park.
Skate park. It's got wheels. That's the park where you play on things with wheels. All right. What's this?
The bathing suit.
A bathing suit. Where would you?
At the water
At the water park. That's right. All right. Now this can be tricky.
Soccer.
They're cleats.
Ball.
It could be, you know what? These happen to be soccer cleats. There are cleats that are specifically for soccer and cleats that are specifically for other sports like football and baseball. But these in particular are soccer ones. All right?
Bike.
A bike? Where would we play?
Skateboard.
At the skate park. Yeah. All right. Here's one last one. He's got helmet, knee pads and elbow pads. Skate park, that's right. All right, we got a lot of things on the skate park. So these are all things that you would predominantly do in the
I
summertime.
thought there were more for baseball.
Yeah, we need more for baseball, don't we?
All right, let's read another book. And this one is actually called Good Night Baseball.
Oh, wow, look.
Good Night Baseball.
I love baseball.
The great big stadium is outside of town. Fans and friends come from miles around. We walk through the gates. We each take our places to get a good view of the mound and the bases.
Way behind the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We eat popcorn and hot dogs and hold drinks in our laps with the names of our favorite teams right on our caps.
What simulation?
I don't know which team the R is, but we watch all the players who catch and who throw and the runners who race to each base down below. Maybe it's the Reds. And then a crack of the bat and a home run. What a hit! Look, the little ball lands in one lucky fan's mitt. The fans stand and stretch at the late 7th inning, and the game goes on. The home team close to winning. Everyone cheers, the home team won. Now the fans are all chanting, we're number one, we're number one. Then the crowd waves goodbye. Good night, teams. You played a great game. Now sleep well and sweet dreams. Good night, diamond, and good night, grass. Good night, home plate, where each runner ran past. Good night, bat, and good night, mitt, that reached up high and caught a fast hit. Good night, popcorn boxes under the stands. Good night, mascot, and good night, fans. Good night, friends, and good night, cars. Good night, stadium under the stars. Good night, Daddy. Good night, moon. He's sleeping with a mascot. Good night, baseball. Safe in my room.
Wait, look.
And look, yeah.
The moon
Yeah,
looks
when
like
you
a
look through
baseball.
this book, there's a lot of really cool baseball things. Yeah. So that was Good Night Baseball. It's a lot like Good Night Moon if you've ever read that book. So we have one more thing to read to you guys today. And this one's called Number One Sam.
Number one, Sam?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's some car races that you might be able to go to. So let's see. It looks like he's got a trophy. He might be number one. The Daily Bark says Sam is the best. Top dog wins it all. Let's see what he's such a winner at. Sam was number one. So his car is number one, right? Maybe he's number one at the top of the list, too. Maybe he's the one who has won all the races. But everybody in sports has a number, don't they? They wear a number on their jerseys or their outfits. He was the number one in speed. Okay, so that meant he went the very fastest. He was the number one at turns. Look at that car. Do cars really turn like that? Would we want a rubbery car that could turn corners like that? That'd be funny. If you're sitting in the back, you'd be looking at Mom and Dad as they turn the corner. And he was the number one at finishing races in the number one spot. So he's racing against an alligator and an elephant. Now, when you're racing, does your weight matter?
No.
No? The heavier you are, you can still go fastest?
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Might be all deciding on the design of the car. But Sam's number one. So on the day of the great big race, Sam wasn't worried. Not one bit. And then there's also maybe an owl, some kind of a chicken bird. I'm not sure what that is. He pulled up to the start and he wished good luck to his best friend Maggie. revved up his engine. You're going to rev it up, right? So you get a good start. Who's going to win this race? Let's find out. Boom! Off they went. Sam zoomed up to speed and nailed all the turns. Man, Mr. Alligator's way behind, isn't he?
Wow.
He and Maggie must be the elephant, were neck and neck as they headed for the finish line. So neck and neck means that they are just right next to each other, right?
Tied.
They're like tied. Here comes the finish line. Let's find out what happens. And then Sam lost. I wasn't expecting that, were you? Sam lost. Everyone was cheering for Maggie. How'd this happen?
How's the alligator holding an elephant?
Oh, yeah. The
They're holding
alligator
him
and the
up.
little bird are holding him up. Yay! People do that sometimes, lift up the winner, right? So everybody was cheering for Maggie, everybody except Sam.
Sam looks sad.
Oh, how did Sam lose? Sam couldn't lose. He was the best at speed. He was the best at turns.
Unless he slowed down at the finish line.
Maybe he did, yeah. And he's the best at being number one.
They would have both won if we
The night before the next race, Sam didn't sleep one wink. So they got another race coming up. Sometimes when something's really important coming up, maybe you don't sleep very well that night before because you're thinking about it, right? Thinking, what you're going to do. All right, here's the next day. At the starting line, Sam was all quiet. Oh, look, he's even got his head turned away from his friends.
And he has an X on the one end.
Oh, he's got a 2 on there. Good
Aw.
observation. He crossed off his number 1. And she's got a heart. What's this one?
A peanut.
A peanut and a watermelon, yeah. So the cars were all lined up and the engines are revving. Whir, whir, whir. Sam didn't say anything to Maggie. Oh, he was too nervous. In fact, he was so distracted he missed the starting flag. Uh-oh, so now he's being left in the cloud of dust. His friends have all left him. Maggie and the other racers had a huge lead, but Sam quickly gained on them. Look, he's way back there. Oh. He was driving his best, and very soon, he passed to the front. Sam, would he be number 1 again? But then he saw them. Who did he see?
Probably the alligators.
You think he saw his friends way behind him? Or did he see the fans? 5 little chicks crossing the track. He was headed right for them.
Oh no.
Sam could steer around the chicks, but would the other racers see them in time?
Oh no.
Screech! Sam slammed on his brakes. He scurried the chicks to safety as the other racers flew by. Sam finished in last place. The chicks thanking him the whole way. Look at how I got to ride with him. Sam was disappointed, but as he approached the finish line, he heard the people cheering for the other racers. But as he got closer, he realized they were actually cheering for him. And even though he had lost another race, his friends still thought he was number 1. That's right. He saved the little chicks, and he is number 1 in their book.
He has good character.
Yep, there's the news team, and they're all.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Very cool book. That was number 1, Sam.
They only had 2 races.
Well, I hope you guys all have a great, great summer. Do lots of fun summer activities.
So there's just 2 races in
And-
that book, and then it was all done.
Yeah, I know. Guess what? It's time for us to say goodbye. You ready?
Yes.
Tell everybody bye. Say bye. Come see us again soon.
Bye.